Let's take a look at some news stories. I saw a bunch of short videos of teachers complaining about how their students in like early classes like fourth and fifth grade can't understand anything. Like they can write a sentence on the board, and students like Susie ate the pineapple, and then they'll ask, what did Susie eat? And nobody has any idea. And this is apparently a real thing. Kids now cannot read at all. They can't read a single sentence. I would imagine this is likely true because they just watch videos and stuff. Like another thing that happened maybe 20 years ago is they can't write cursive letters anymore because that's like an ancient art that's not done anymore. And everybody types. And I wouldn't be surprised if even reading will go away if everybody's watching videos all the time. Anyway, it's an issue, and apparently it's real. I wondered if it was just that one teacher complaining, but there were a lot of other people backing him up. So that's a challenge. And I think we do need reading, although I suppose you could argue that maybe reading is obsolete and everything should be in video now. I don't know. So a guy said he warned people who were immigrants that they should get rid of their Ring camera. And I looked, and this is something a lot of people say. Ring cameras are, apparently the government does get data from Ring cameras, but they claim that they don't just hand it over all the time, 100% of the time, but they respond to court orders. But they have a history of asking people for permission to share and then turning it over anyway, regardless of that permission. When they get a request from the government. So the privacy activists say you really shouldn't trust these things, that the government can easily get access to them, and you probably don't really want to be using them unless you're happy with all your data being turned over to the government. So this is Google Threat Intelligence, and what they're showing is this is seeing who's attacking people, and they point out that Russians are now compromising defense contractors. And one of the many ways they're doing it is by direct targeting of employees and by exploiting the hiring process. This has hit the news mostly in the last few months from North Koreans. North Koreans find various ways to impersonate Germans and Americans, people in Western nations, by either making like an avatar or by paying an American to work act as a cutout so they can appear in like Zoom meetings, and then they get hired into companies. And once they're in there, they typically steal the secrets and find ways to exploit them and steal the money. And also, by the way, it's just illegal to have North Koreans. We have serious economic sanctions in North Korea. You're not allowed to pay a North Korean to work at your company. I'm pretty sure that's how the sanctions work. So if they do trick you into hiring them, now you're technically in violation of U.S. law. And they say every major company has a bunch of these North Koreans hired because it's essentially impossible to tell now that everybody's working remotely. They can hide their identity pretty effectively. And this is a big issue these days, and there isn't much of a good solution for it yet. So the Republicans are continuing to do what they've done along. They don't believe in climate change because they can make more money. Everything the Trump administration does is very clear. They just want to grab more money now, and they don't care about consequences later, which is true of most of the economic sector in America. They only care about quarter to quarter. For example, I can fire a bunch of staff, replace them with AI that won't work, but I'll get a bonus this quarter by cutting expenses, and the fact that we'll have to pay even more to make up for the consequences of that later is not going to be my problem. And so what they're trying to deny all climate change and just burn lots of fossil fuels because they'll make more money now for the donors. And so there's a official website that gives scientific information to judges so they can make determinations on scientific-oriented cases. And it used to have a section on climate change saying the usual scientific consensus that human pollution is causing climate change and we really need to cut down on greenhouse gases and such. And they've removed the whole section now in response to complaints from the Trump administration that Trump not only thinks climate change is a hoax, he hates windmills because he feels like they are unsightly near his golf courses, so he's trying to end all wind and solar power. All right, and this is important to understand. I have a bunch of people that come to me that say their lives are ruined because they've been hacked. A bad guy is in all their accounts. They keep coming back no matter how they try to kick them out. And I think this is primarily through hacking their phones. And once somebody owns your phone, they pretty much own your whole online life. And there is commercial software that will do this by installing on your phone, and it's also sold to criminals. And this one is malware sold to criminals on Telegram channels and such. Once you're in there, they claim it can attack all modern versions of iOS and Android. And once they're in there, they have full access to everything about your phone, app usage, SMS message exchanges, and all received notifications, which is the most important thing, because now they can do password resets through your banking and stuff, and they can break into two-factor because they can see all the messages coming in on your phone. And they can also track your location in real time with GPS. So this stuff is out there. There's normal legal commercial stuff that does this, which is sold ostensibly for parents to monitor their children, although it's typically used by people to spy on their ex-boyfriend and ex-girlfriend to find out who the new one is, or things like that. It's happening all the time. This is an important thing to know. All right, and this, I think, is a really good idea. If you have a phone and your phone wants to do something like access, if one of the apps on your phone wants to access your camera or the microphone, it will pop up a box and say, this app is trying to use your microphone, is that okay? And finally, Microsoft wants to put that in Windows. Windows should have had this all along. This is another big thing that happens a lot in Windows. They infect a Windows machine, they turn on the camera and microphone, primarily the camera, then they photograph people when they don't know they're being photographed, and once they get something embarrassing like nude pictures, then they blackmail them. And this is a huge crime. People that get caught spend like 12 or 14 years in prison for this, but they kill a lot of people. A lot of people, teenagers in particular, will commit suicide if you threaten to send this to their parents and their church, and they'll get terribly upset, and a lot of them have died. It's high past time for this, and by the way, for years, every security professional I know keeps tape over their camera, which is the best thing to do. In fact, modern laptops often come with a slide to put over the camera because you really don't know that it's not turned on, and you really don't want this happening. But this is a very good idea. It should just pop up a box letting you know when somebody's using the camera, because you can't rely on the light to work. And everybody in every nation, the operational technology and industrial control systems are extremely vulnerable. 50 years ago, industrial plants like power plants, sewage treatment plants, and water plants were not computerized at all. They were just mechanical, and they had mechanical switches, and you had to be on location throwing those switches to control them. But then to improve efficiency, we connected them all to computer controls. And then to improve efficiency even more, we connected all those computer controls to the internet. So now you can sit in a central office and get reports of how all your power plants are running and even adjust them remotely. But the problem is the fundamental technology that manages that equipment was never designed to be secure. The security consisted of you having to be in the room. The lock on the door was the security, not the protocols used to control it. And the primary protocols used to control these things are extremely out of date, like Modbus. They send totally unencrypted signals and unauthenticated. Physical access to be able to send data on the network is all you need to do everything. There's no administrator account, and user account, or a password, or anything like that. And when you connect them to the internet, they keep getting hacked all the time. Everybody is wide open to this. The Chinese have been in control of our power stations many times. They haven't done anything bad yet, but they've gotten in. We found out that they do have remote control. We have remote control of other nations' stuff. The head of DEF CON, I talked to him at the last DEF CON, Jeff Moss, and he said every nation is clamoring for help in this area. Every nation knows. And Poland is a good case because they really got hacked in this regard. This hasn't happened in the United States yet, but there's no reason it won't. But because Poland is supporting Ukraine against Russia, the Russians decided to hurt them. And so they got in through vulnerable internet-facing edge devices. Then they sent wiper malware to wipe things out, and that caused loss of control of the systems. And so that's the problem. You can permanently damage OT devices, or at least make it very difficult to recover them by wiping out all the firmware. And you can also cause physical destruction, which the Israelis did to Iran. They hacked into an Iranian steel processing plant, and they modified the motion of the molten steel so it spilled and caused a fire and burned the place to the ground. And they also had hacked into the cameras monitoring it so they could watch the staff. And they said, we were careful not to kill anybody, but if you look at the footage, there are workers running, barely escaping the falling molten steel. But anyway, that's the problem. I mean, all these things are too vulnerable, and every nation is struggling how to secure them. The problem is, it's not necessarily technically difficult to secure them, it's just very expensive. And nobody wants to pay for installing more security in all these things. But we're pretty soon going to have to, I think, because they're getting hacked right and left. So far, they haven't had big security incidents where they kill a lot of people, but there have been attempts to tamper with the water in water supply systems. There was an attempt to turn up the chlorine in a municipal water supply to a level that would have hurt people. It failed, but it's too dangerous, and our defenses are too weak, and everybody is waking up to this and trying to figure out what to do. Anyway, let me stop the